wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. Today, we are going to be talking about the college football playoff expansion that has been agreed upon for the 2024 season. Unfortunately, we have a whole nother year of the 4-team playoff, which I say unfortunately, it kind of gives your team one more chance to make it with just there being 4 teams instead of 12. But I am excited for it. I think it's going to be a good thing. Couple pros and cons that we've heard already. Pros being surely with the bowl games being playoff games, they'll matter more. Less kids will opt out, which should help for better football later in the season. And there'll be more games. Actually, I don't know if there would be more games because they're going to play those bowls anyways. They're just more meaningful games. So that'd be good for the fans. I think one of the cons that I've heard is that the regular season may not matter as much because of losses. And I've got pulled up here the top 12 currently. There's 2 teams that have 3 losses, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6 or 7 teams that have 2 losses. I think 6. And so I get what they're trying to say is they're saying, well, if there's the top 12 teams can make it, now losing one game in some seasons will keep you out of the playoffs. Now this year we have a situation where we will probably see 2 one-loss teams go into the playoffs, seeing how the voting will happen of whether or not TCU and Ohio State will make it in. I think they will. There's no way that a 2-loss Bama is going to get in over that. But at the same time, we're saying, well, a 2-loss team shouldn't be in the playoffs. Well, if we jump into 12 teams, we're not going to have just 2-loss team. We're going to have 5 or 6 of them and a couple 3-loss teams that would make it. But at the same time, I think, looking at Kansas State, they just beat TCU. They're 10-3. I can see on the schedule where within the top 12 teams, they could beat some of those teams. And so I'm excited to get to see better football at the end of the season. I don't necessarily agree with the opinion that it'll make the regular season matter less because they are giving an incentive for playing better, not losing games, and winning your conference. If you win your conference, you will get a first-round bye through the playoffs. That's good. You're going to want that, which is going to matter. It's going to matter late in the season. I don't really feel like that argument works very well because if you've got TCU, K-State this year, K-State, it's not even a good one technically because they already had 3 losses, but let's assume that they only had 2 losses and they were ranked 5 or 6 and they could have technically lost that title game and still made playoffs, but they're playing hard because not only do they want to win the title of Big 12 champion, they also want that first round bye. So I don't really think this is going to cause that much of a discrepancy amongst them. One thing that is being mentioned a lot now is the compensation to the players who would now be playing instead of opting out and preparing for the draft. In past years, like even before NIL, if you go to a bowl game and I don't know if it's just for going or if you win or whatever, but you'd get like a kind of like a care package. You might get some shoes, a hoodie, stuff like that, gloves, and cool stuff. But these kids don't want that. If they're going to go, they're going to risk their bodies one more time before they go to the league. They're going to want some monetary compensation. And with how much money these schools are making off the bowl games, they could probably afford to cough up some cash for these players. And once again, I think all that's going to do is keep the kids wanting to play. There's no game without the kids. I say kids, they're men. There's no game without these men suiting up and playing football. So you want to keep them happy. You want to keep them playing. You need to pay them in a fair way, not just some gloves and some, pair of Jordans or whatever they were doing. I'm excited for it. I want Texas. We got one more year next year to try and make it. I doubt next year's the year that we make it. But I want us to. I want us to be able to compete for that. And I think this playoff in specific is kind of interesting. This is the first, assuming Bama and Clemson, well, Clemson won't make it, but assuming Bama won't, this will be the first one that neither one of those teams have made it since we started the playoffs. And I think that that's going to be kind of interesting. You know, Michigan and Georgia, they're locks. I think TCU and Ohio State are both locks. It's just a matter of who gets in where. And personally, I think Ohio State should be number 3 and TCU should be 4. But we'll see. We'll see how the committee decides to vote on it all. And we'll have a video at the end of this video. I'll link it right here below, and y'all can check that out as well. But that's really all I got. It's a short video. This is exciting. I think it's good for college football. And we'll see how it plays out for us in the years to come. With that being said, if y'all made it this far, I really do appreciate y'all. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at @LoneStar_CFB. Appreciate y'all.